Welcome. This is Chris Vanberg, for those of you that don't know me. I'm supposed to be joined by my business partner, Brian Johnson, tonight, but he came across some technical difficulties, so we are going to continue on without him. The goal of tonight's webinar is really just to give you a little education. It's really about the holidays. And what's really about the holidays is so many people have just accepted the fact that they're going to gain weight over the holidays. And is that necessarily how we should do that? Or should we sort of adjust a lifestyle that we can eat what we want through the holidays guilt-free, but we're staying on our diets and we're staying through and we're powering through and we'll come out on the other side without gaining weight that we have to struggle to lose in early January. And so that's sort of the point of today. So we're going to go over some basic simple tips and some pillars of what we've built our foundation of our business on. So that's what today is about. Gonna hop right in there, right? So, a sec. And while I wait for this to load, does anybody know what the term is? Iatrogenesis is a term that the medical industry is basically using for preventable medical error deaths. It's the third death in America. And why you should be so concerned about that term is because it's the third leading cause of death in America, and it's preventable medical errors. So you go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, you ask for routine treatments or even rare treatments, and they accidentally kill you. Nobody's really necessarily held responsible, but that's the way the world works. This is called iatrogenesis. And so doctors have to carry all this insurance, and one of the biggest reasons why our healthcare is so expensive is because they accidentally kill so many people that they all have to carry this crazy amount of insurance and malpractice, and there's all these lawsuits going on. The point of this is that your health is supposed to be under your own control. You have to take responsibility for that. And if you put sole responsibility into one course of action, i.e. hospitals and doctors, you might not have the best outcome. There are multiple ways to stay healthy in this world, and you are responsible for your own health. Now, they have amazing technology, and we have amazing surgeries and reactionary, and there's life-saving medicines that exist. But if that's your sole course of recourse is just fixing yourself when you break instead of taking care of yourself, it's not going to end well for you. So by the end of this webinar, I shouldn't spend more than 30 or 45 minutes. I promise you'll know more than 90% of the population on health and wellness. That is way, believe it or not, powerful information. And I want you to be able to take that so you can make the best decisions for yourself on the daily basis, right? And that's all that really matters is your day-to-day decisions, because that's what adds up to climbing mountains, right? So once again, Brian and Johnson and I are supposed to be presenting today, but he's not going to make it today, so it's just me. But it's okay. We're gonna make it through, power through, no problem. Brian and I, we go to California. If you don't know this, we know Brian and I invest a lot in coaches, right? We nutrition coaches, business coaches, marketing coaches. We love to learn, and sometimes a coach is so powerful to help you learn more. Because they've been through it, the trial and error, they've learned, and they know the mistakes you make, and they can really help you set back on track, right? And so, we were at a mastermind event, and this is where we do a lot of great networking and meet a lot of amazing people. Brian, I met him 12 years ago, right? And he was the personal training manager of 24 Hour Fitness. What's amazing about that is, he's been training his whole life. Since he was like 7 years old, he's been training himself, and then he started training clients and his teenagers. And I mean, I've never met a greater trainer. That man, he knows every muscle in the body. He knows exactly how to work it. He knows how to help people from a rehabilitative standpoint. He's really the greatest physical trainer I've ever met. And he taught me everything I knew about sort of fitness nutrition, which is where we started, 10, 12 years ago. Fitness nutrition is really about like manipulating body fat, understanding macros. How do you stay and manipulate your body fat and keep lean muscle tissue on? Now, A lot of people don't know this, but fitness people, even though they look and their physique is really good, are often very unhealthy because fitness nutrition is not the same as really healthy nutrition. So in the last 10 years, we've studied nothing but that. We've studied nutrition and disease reversal nutrition, and there's so much power in food. We've helped reverse so many people from symptoms and illnesses because just by providing them the right food and providing what the body needs, they would get better. Since then, we've studied things like body language and conscious language and all the emotional and limiting belief systems that people struggle with from day to day in their past history, and help them find forgiveness and peace about those things so they can move forward in their life. And then we help you with goals and directions and imagination to help create the life that you really desire. And it's so much as just learning the tools to help you create this in your life. So just do me a favor, turn off your cell phones, close your Facebook, go where it's quiet, drink some water, and take some notes. And I'll challenge you too, if you take some really great notes, I'll make you an offer at the end. So just be open your mind to what if things are possible to change? What if those preventable medical errors, we can dramatically reduce that number because people are taking care of themselves. So here's what we're going to go over. I'm going to go over current state. I'm going to go over some of our 4 pillars: air, water, portion controls, metabolic rate, protein, carbs, fats, activity, and just staying on track. I got 2 foods here, right? Maybe you've seen them. One, the kiwi and the beet. And let me explain. Listen, the reason why I have these 2 up there is because these are the 2 most powerful foods that I know that you can get in the grocery store. We had a client named Carol. She had really debilitating asthma. She couldn't do any physical activity for more than a few minutes without losing her breath because her asthma was so bad. So we put her on the kiwis, 2 to 3 kiwis every single day. Within 3 days, her breath was totally changed. She was able to have physical exercise for 20 to 30 minutes without having it. Now she hasn't had an asthma attack in months because she's eating a constant supply of kiwis. And I've seen it help with so many other different things where it is involved with lungs or breathing. There's so many phytonutrients in there. You can see the little crystals inside the kiwi. It's loaded with vitamin C, but without all the sugar that you would get from an orange or whatever. It's powerful healing food. Beets. One of our teachers, Jeff Primack, he was talking to us about a lady, and he's seen beets and cancer protocols help so much because the active ingredient in beets is called betaine. It's what gives it its rich red color. It's very similar to hemoglobin. So it helps you produce fresh new red blood cells, which helps you deliver better oxygen and nutrients, and helps you detoxify your blood. So it's often used in people that are suffering with cancer, right? It's a great food protocol. So there was a lady, she had cancer that was so bad, it was like, I think it was kidney or liver, and it was so big, it was like the size of a watermelon and the size of her abs. And the doctors had given her a month to live. She came to our teacher and was said, like, well, what should I do? And he's like, I'll be honest, I don't have anything for you to do. That limited amount of time frame, I'm not sure there's anything you can do. She goes, well, I'm not leaving here until you tell me something. She said, okay, 6 pounds raw beets every day. That's it. 6 pounds raw beets. Now, I imagine eating that raw beets would be very difficult, so I think she blended up into smoothies. She came back a month later. Her tumor was half the size. 3 months later, she was cancer-free. There is power in healing in food, and I just want you to be a believer and be open-minded. So no matter almost 90% of the diseases out there or symptoms out there, there is a food that helps you. And I promise you, we're going to figure out the rest of them. So believe that there's power in food. 4 leading causes of death in America: heart disease, cancer, chronic respiratory, and stroke. Now, of course, what doesn't link to this is there's 2 other statistics you need to understand. 350,000 deaths are basically linked because you are overweight or obese. That would make it the 3rd leading cause of death in America. Also, the 3rd leading cause of death, which doesn't go in there as a disease, is what they call iatrogenic deaths, which are deaths preventable medical errors, which means hospitals accidentally killing people. 40% of these deaths are preventable. Basically, if you count the iatrogenic deaths and you count that most of these will change with your living standards, probably 80% of deaths in the United States are preventable, which is a staggering number because it's quite possible to change. Maybe not, maybe your dying day is set, maybe because of a car accident or something in the future, but if you change your lifestyle, you will definitely add more life to your years, and you will probably add more years to your life. So this is how we came up with the importance of what basically our pillars of health. And where it really came down to is, look, as personal trainers, we understand that you can train somebody, you can train the hell out of your body, but if you don't eat the right food, you're not going to look the way you want to look, right? You could eat 1,000 calories of Oreos or 1,000 calories of chicken and rice. One of you is going to look totally different than the other, right? So and you could train ridiculous amounts, but whoever eats the right food is going to look the way they want. So food obviously was more important than physical exercise, right? But then, you can go a few weeks without food and still live, but you can only go a few days without water. And so if you're really trying to be healthy, water's how your blood flows and how it delivers those oxygen and the nutrients and removes your waste. It is the most important thing for the delivery of nutrients within your body. But then if you really think about it, you only go a few minutes without air. It's so taken for granted because you don't have to consciously think about your breath. Most people only breathe enough to stay conscious, right? And so it is really the most important thing. In fact, in a lot of Eastern cultures, it is the first practice you do to heal your body is take in more air. Why air, right? It's oxygen. It's the source of all life. No life would exist without it. So there's all sorts of energy practices around how can I improve the oxygen in my blood? And you know what? 95% of Americans have a symptom that they call clumped red blood cells. Basically, your red blood cells are sticking together instead of flowing freely through your body. But you know what? We can take somebody and we can put them on 45 minutes of fast, deep breathing, draw their blood, and their blood is no longer stuck together because it's fully oxygenated. So listen, you take all these energy drinks and these supplements, and it's because you're tired and you're not getting oxygen, you're not delivering this to your body, so you've got low energy. But sure enough, you can take a 5-minute breathing exercise and get almost as much energy as you're probably getting from your caffeine or your energy drink or whatever you're trying to do. So it's important for you to take in more deep breaths. And I definitely don't recommend it, but there's even people out there, it's a Tibetan state of consciousness. They call it breatharian. Basically, the person has lived to such a level of consciousness now that they no longer require food. They drink water only if need be, but they really live off the breath and the air and the energy from the world. And so obviously I don't believe this is the healthiest way to live, but it's possible that there are people that have gone a year without food, right? Because they found their energy source in the air. So anyway, any practice of deep breathing or yoga have powerful effects on the body, not only from a meditative standpoint, but to relax the mind and the body and to allow the body to heal is to take in more oxygen. So there's so many amazing little foods that help, beets, kiwis, and so to take in these foods to help you improve your oxygen supply is just invaluable, right? Water, next thing you'll die without. Often people drink all types of substitutes for water, carbonated beverages or energy drinks or juices, but there is no replacement for water. Often people eat more food when their body is actually craving water. We often drink water when we eat, which actually slows our digestion. Listen, you lose so much water just sleeping at night from exhaling and sweating and perspiration that the very first thing, if you want great energy through the day, is drink water as soon as you wake up, 20 to 30 ounces. It's how we deliver our vitamin minerals. It's how we detoxify. It's the main source of our vitality and energy. There's a lot of people that say that water is directly connected to your feeling world. And so what I mean by that is, somebody that is dehydrated probably doesn't feel the same way. And so if you really want to be connected to your emotions and you want to be energetic and you want to be full of vitality, you need to be well hydrated. The next thing I'm going to talk about is some different aspects of food, right? And this is where I really get into the holidays. And it's so important, right? Because think about Thanksgiving, right? Like people eat so much in one meal that they're exhausted and they take naps and whatever. But if you stuck to your normal portions, there would be nothing different about the Thanksgiving meal. I mean, generally speaking, a lot of the food on Thanksgiving is healthy. Maybe not all the pumpkin pie, but But, turkey and sweet potatoes, and there's a lot of great healthy foods that you can have on Thanksgiving. And if you stuck to a normal size portion, it wouldn't exhaust you so much. So often so many people do too much food in one single meal, right? Or often not enough food during the course of the day. And so, there's this whole equation that you need to take into hand, which is your muscle tissue is what burns most of your calories. And fitness nutrition is a master of this, right? The reason why you have to eat a certain amount of protein, carbs, and fats in a day and breaking it over a portion of meals is so that you keep your muscle tissue high, or hopefully even gain muscle tissue if that's your goal, while burning fat and keeping your energy supply steady throughout the day. And so there's a beautiful formula for that really helps people. And so most people, they miss meals, breakfast, whatever, they eat too much. And the other mistake is the number of times that they eat through the day. So a lot of people, only eat lunch and dinner, right? So they eat all their calories towards the end of the day when they're not eating anymore, or they're not burning any more calories. Or the other mistake, which is people that eat constantly throughout the day. The problem with that is it keeps your blood sugars high throughout the day and you're not burning any fat because you're constantly taking in more sugars. So there's also a nice formula for that. You want to separate your meals to a nice incremental change so that your body has a good supply of energy, feeds the muscles what it needs. But then there's a hunger period in there where your body goes and starts breaking down fats for energy and taking advantage of what is already there in stored calories so that your body, and then eat again before it's too long. So there's a nice formula for all of that. Or the wrong breakdown of macros, right? Maybe you don't know what macros are, but let me spend a minute on that. Protein, carbs, and fats. Proteins are sort of the long, steady burning fuel. Fats are like the medium fuel, and carbs are like the jet fuel. So one burns really quick, one sort of constantly burns over time, and one slowly burns. And it's about the right ingredients for that. Now, they all break down to aminos and all sorts of other formulas, but it's really important that you understand that if you ran on jet fuel, yeah, you could survive, but wouldn't that age your body really quickly, right? And maybe you could survive on slow burning fuels, but is that really the most efficient thing for you? Wouldn't that really slow you down? Maybe it also, there's acidic and alkaline balance, but wouldn't that really, so it's all about that right balance of macros in every meal and through the course of the day so that you have the right type of energy during the right periods of time during your day. Metabolic rate. I can't tell you how many people or clients that I have that have thyroid issues, on both aspects, right? So hypo and hyper. And so there's a solution for both just through food. You have a slow thyroid, man, we can help you. There's a food protocol for that. Endocrine boosting foods that are speeding up your metabolism, getting your energy going, get your digestive enzymes going, and really helping you speed up your endocrine system and your metabolism. And also goitrogen foods. So people that need to slow down their metabolism, people that have a hypermetabolism, hyperthyroid, there are foods that will slow down your metabolism, bring you down. Now, look, you'd say, why would I want that, right? Well, we live in a time where there's an abundant supply of food, and we should be thankful for that. But imagine, if we lived in a time where there was an abundant supply of food, goitrogens could help keep us alive, slow down our thyroid so that we're slowly burning, could let us survive off a smaller amount of food, right? So having a faster metabolism is not always there, but the problem is we are overindulging in this country, and so therefore most of us require a faster metabolism just to burn off all these calories we're taking in. So the nice protein, carbs, and fats, and here's a little nice children diagram for those that have never seen it. But look, most animal proteins, right, is where most people understand their proteins. There are lots of vegetable-based ones that are very important. If vegetarian is your style of life, we can definitely help you with that, or even vegan. There's a great way to do that, but it really needs to be done correctly, just like it would for somebody that's a meat eater. It's all about balance. Fats, coconut, avocados, there's a lot of animal-based fats, but mostly vegetable-based fats is better for you. The right types of carbohydrates and the right balance in every single meal, and the right balance over the course of the day. Mindful of activity is so important. Listen, if some people have invested, I know a lot of buddies. I have a Basis. Brian's got the Fitbit. We wear them all the time. They're great for activity tracking because you know what? Most people just don't move enough anymore, right? We have the most amazing conveniences for our lives, and I'm telling you, a lot of us it hurts to watch people fight for a parking spot where 50 feet farther away there's another parking spot, right? We should always be taking as much activity as possible, taking the stairs whenever possible, and tracking our progress to make sure we had a great activity day. And monitors can help track that progress. We encourage them, we believe in them, and and we just want you to be able to really be mindful of how much activity you're doing in the course of the day, because that has a huge impact, especially over the holidays. If you think about it, right? You don't have to go to work maybe, right? So maybe that's more time off when you're spending it with family, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still get your exercise in. It doesn't mean you shouldn't still take a walk around the block. It doesn't mean you shouldn't still get some exercise in on those days, even when you're spending time with family. And your family too, right? I mean, it's all about living that healthy lifestyle, and it's very easy to do if you take the time to do it. Stay on track, right? I'll be honest, right? Brian and I have probably spent $100,000 in coaches between us over the course of this year alone. The last couple of years, I couldn't even tell you. And I'll be honest, the information is so invaluable, right? Because we know so many people that have wasted mistakes or errors. I'll be honest, like, yeah, maybe my doctor is thinking about dabbling in taxes, but I have pretty complicated taxes. Do I want to go to him? Probably not. He doesn't have a lot of experience in it, right? And I could do the taxes myself. There's a lot of software to help you do it. There's a lot of things, but you know what? I go to a CPA because I trust in their knowledge and their experience to do the absolute best job instead of wasting my money on all sorts of other things, right? I trust my CPA and my coach. Now, for every aspect of my life, I also do that. For different aspects of nutrition and coaching and counseling, I have coaches. For marketing and business, I have coaches. For everything I've ever done in my life for sales, I've always looked up for a mentor or coach, because you know what? They have better knowledge and expertise and wisdom. And if you find the right coach, it's like cutting years of trial and error out of your life, never mind how much money. And think about it. The one thing that really keeps people going is seeing results. And if you're doing it on yourself and you fail repeatedly, most people give up. But if you get a coach and you start to see success, you start to feel better, look better, you start to see that, man, it can make the big difference between success and failure just by seeing some early results. So I encourage you to get a coach and some accountability. Listen, I'm inviting you right now. We have a seminar coming up, 6 weeks of basically an advanced nutrition course. And these are some of the subjects we're going to go over. It's going to probably get a lot more in depth than this, but this is a lot to material even cover in 6 weeks, right? All the different diet theories, right? Brian and I have studied over 100 different diet theories, and a lot of them have pros and cons, and it's about understanding why. And I mean, I'll be honest, my personal diet is a combination of probably 6 or 8 different theories. There's so much to be learned there. Metabolic eating, how do I increase or decrease my metabolism? What's appropriate for me? Macros and micros. I spent a little bit on macros, but micronutrients are really the key to health. Let me tell you, the phytonutrients that are on fruits and vegetables can reverse almost any symptom. They're God's cures, and they're there, and there's published medical studies behind them, but your doctor doesn't learn that in school, so you have to go elsewhere to learn this type of knowledge. Symptom reversal foods, I spent a lot of time on that, right? Blending and juicing, there's benefits to both. And, on our fast-paced lives, there's so many people that don't have enough time to make all the right foods or to get all the nutrition through the course of the day. And smoothies or juices can be such a key to your health, to getting all those fruits and vegetables that you might need maybe in one single drink. And it's life-changing for people on the go. Hormone balancing, man, it doesn't matter if you're a teenager, you're a woman going through menopause, or you're in your late 80s. Everybody has to be mindful of their hormones, and there's so much that can be done through your food. Digestive health, man, it's amazing how many people have things like IBS or Crohn's or stomach pains or food allergies, or get sick all the time because they have poor digestive flora, and that's where 80% of your immune system is. Listen, we can coach you through that. It's amazing, tremendous breakthroughs that you can be. Listen, constipation is not normal. If you don't go number 2 regularly, you've got some stomach issues or some digestive tract issues, and we can help you. Autoimmune. Listen, many of you know this, many of you don't, but my mom suffered from fibromyalgia, and that's, and also arthritis, and there's, there are so many people that are dying by just listening to doctors here. And they have powerful knowledge, but let me tell you, they don't have an answer for that. They don't have a cure for that, but there are alternatives. And my mom suffered for 8 years, and you know what? She's got her diet on track, and she's teaching dance again for the first time in 20 years. And she has had amazing reversal in her fibromyalgia. And there's so many other people we have been able to help with autoimmune diseases. So please, blood sugars, diabetic, man, let me tell you, there's so much you can do, and there's so many foods that can help. So please, even type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, reach out. Let's talk about it. We can help you. And I'll be honest, there's so many people that are diabetes at risk and don't even know it yet. But man, when it hits you, you don't want to know it, okay? And why diets itself don't work. We teach you about lifestyle management, right? How to make it part of your life and love it, right? If you have this negative connotation to it, you'll never be successful. And so that all we want out is to be successful. We're starting this on Monday, January 5th. It's going to be a 6-week course. Everything's going to be recorded. We're going to have some live calls. They're going to be amazing. So I'm encouraging you now. So here's what we got. Normally this course is $500. We're offering it for $197. First of all, I hope you learned something today. I hope you got some powerful information that maybe you can use. Maybe it will help you get through the holidays. But listen, I invite you to join us. I'll give you a link afterwards, but there's a link for $197. It's good till midnight if you'd like to sign up. 6 webinars, hour each, all about nutrition. It's going to be recorded. So if you missed the live session, we will make sure to provide it for you. We'll give you our recipe books. We're going to have a closed Facebook site for questions and answers for all of our clients. There's a 30-minute consultation with Brian or I. We'll give you a couple extra videos that we have. I think that's awesome. And listen, if you took really great notes and you feel great about posting them and you think you're confident, then tag me in it, and I'll give you a special offer. Whoever has the best notes, right? Look, here are the benefits. It's all about mastering the basics. It's about learning the daily things that you do that will make a difference. Listen, people think that lifestyle change is dramatic, right? Like they're scared of it because it's so much to take on. But let me tell you, actually, all it is small incremental changes every single day. Because it's the things that you do every day that add up to amazing things. Like if you read 5 to 10 pages in a book on one subject every day for a year, after 5 years, you would be a master of that subject. The same thing is with your health. Little tiny practices that you take in and integrate into your lifestyle every single day make a dramatic difference. Between Brian and I, we worked with over 13,000 people. I already told you we spent $100,000 in coaches this year alone. We'll help you craft a perfect diet for you, because there is no perfect diet, but it's all about working and learning and understanding the theory so that you can find the diet that works specifically for your body. We learned a concept at one of our schools called bioindividuality, which is basically like the reason why a lot of modern medicine doesn't work is because nobody is the same. We're all slightly different. None of our chemistry is the same. And if we don't get down to the root about finding the right diet for us as individuals, we're going to struggle. So look, I ask you to invest today because you'll have more joy and peace about your life. Creating both for you and your family, this information is invaluable. You'll find that you'll become an evangelist for both you and your whole family. And, if it's about living the life you want to live and renewed confidence in yourself. And let me tell you, I just say it's really about life, right? And loving your life and loving yourself. And that's what we want to teach you to do. Little things that will help you live the best you can be. Look, we try to share our stuff on Facebook, but there's only so much you can do in a small little post. We try to invite you to join our groups. There's only so much we can teach you in a little bit. But let me tell you, 6 hours with us. Look, if you were consulting with me on a one-on-one, that would be $3,000 or $4,000 for 6 hours. I'm offering it today, $197. You get dedicated time with both Brian and I. Both of us have our little areas of expertise. Both very good at helping people. And I'll be honest, we do it because we love you. So listen, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Love you lots. I hope you learned something tonight. And we'll continue to do free webinars when we can. But please, sign up and join us. Have a great night.